Good evening. I want you to imagine something with me. Picture a vast, breathtaking mosaic. Thousands upon thousands of tiny, colored tiles. Each one distinct, each one meticulously chosen and perfectly placed. From a distance, you see a stunning, cohesive image. A story, perhaps, or a landscape of incredible beauty. But now, draw your mind's eye closer. Zoom in until you can see the individual pieces. You realize that the entire magnificent vision is utterly dependent on the integrity, the precise placement of the smallest, most unassuming elements. Remove one or misplace a few, and the whole begins to lose its power. What if I told you that the grand design of your life, your deepest purpose, your most beautiful, your most significant achievements, even your most profound spiritual connections, is built in much the same way? Upon the power of the small, the focused, the detailed. Tonight, we're going to explore one of the most foundational yet often overlooked energies within the human experience. It's an energy described in the ancient system of wisdom called the I Ching. It was called, quote, the taming power of the small. Well, in a modern framework for understanding ourselves called human design, it's known simply as Gate 9, or the energy of focus. Now, human design isn't about boxing you in or giving you a label. Think of it as more of a sophisticated language, a beautiful, intricate map that helps us understand the energies that flow through us. The unique ways we are designed to operate, and how we connect with ourselves, each other, and something far greater than ourselves. It describes our energetic style, not fixed traits. And the wonderful thing is, we all have access to every energy it describes. Some of us may have a more consistent, defined way of experiencing a particular energy that human design talks about. Well, that's our nature, that thing. But how we express that energy, the quality of it, that's shaped by our nurture, our experiences, our choices, and our connection to a higher light. So, this isn't just for a select few. This is about an energy you all know. The energy of Gate 9. Imagine, if you will, again, a beam of diffuse sunlight, full of potential but spread out. Now picture that light being gathered, channeled, and passed through a powerful lens until it becomes a sharp, intensely focused point of light, capable of illuminating the tiniest detail or even igniting a spark. That focus point is the essence of Gate 9. This energy resides in what human design calls the sacral center. The sacral center is what is known as a powerful motor or life force, vitality, and sustainable energy. Gate 9 acts as the precision lens, that divine magnifying glass. It takes the raw, vibrant energy of life and hones it, concentrating it with remarkable clarity onto the details, the minute but crucial components of any task, any dream, any challenge. Its motto is simple: focus empowers the entire progress. Focus empowers the entire process. Again, focus empowers the entire process. When this energy is flowing through you in a healthy way, you can lose yourself in the minutiae of a project. not with a sense of overwhelm, but with a quiet determination. Think of the master artisan, head bent, patiently perfecting each tiny stroke of a brush, knowing it contributes to the emerging masterpiece. Or the researcher, meticulously compiling data, sifting through facts, understanding that every small, verified piece builds the edifice of discovery. This energy whispers, attend to the little details with determination, and the larger goal will take care of itself. It's a logical, almost step-by-step approach. Break down the mountain that looms before you into a collection of small, manageable pebbles, and then focus on moving each pebble with care and precision. But here's a nuance. This focus isn't always a constant, relentless beam. For many, it operates in waves. You might experience periods of intense absorption, where the world and its distractions fade into the background, followed by moments where that focus might scatter, where you feel a need to pull back, to breathe, to almost reset before diving in again. This is not inconsistency. It's often the natural rhythm of this energy. Understanding this ebb and flow helps to avoid self-judgment and instead honor the cycle. The challenge? Well, sometimes this powerful lens can lead to tunnel vision. We can become so intent on examining one single intricate leaf that we momentarily lose sight of the magnificent sprawling forest all around us. The art then lies in learning to zoom in with precision and then to consciously zoom out, to lift our gaze and regain perspective before returning to the necessary detail. Now, let's explore the quality of this energy, because that's where our growth and our choices make all the difference. I want you to visualize a spectrum of light, or perhaps a cord. At one end, it's dark, a mass of tangled, knotted threads, representing what the author Richard Rudd in his work with the gene keys, which is a kind of a sister or mirror of the human design gates. Well, he calls the shadow. He calls this aspect the shadow. For gate 9, the shadow is what he has labeled inertia. Inertia. That feeling of being stuck, overwhelmed. You see the whole mountain and its sheer scale, its daunting height. It feels crushing. So you freeze. Procrastination becomes your unwelcome companion, or inertia can manifest as its reflective twin, a frantic, scattered energy. A whirlwind of busyness without true direction, accomplishing little. It's that all too familiar sensation of, I have so much to do, I don't know where to start, so I'll just scroll on my phone. Spiritual inertia can be a subtle form of faithlessness, the insidious whisper that says, my small efforts won't matter anyway, so why bother? Does this sound familiar? I believe we've all waded through those murky waters. It's part of the human experience. But here's the beauty. That same energy, that same potential, when we bring awareness, a little courage, and perhaps a whisper of prayer for help, can begin to transform. Imagine those tangled threads starting to loosen, to align. The cord begins to slide along the spectrum, moving into what Rudd would call the gift, which in this case is determination. Determination. Visualize that cord now as a single, strong, brightly illuminated thread, This is focus action. That sacral engine is humming, channeling its power into concrete, small actions that build undeniable momentum. You're no longer paralyzed by the mountain's height. Your gaze is fixed upon the path just ahead, on the very next step. As the scriptures beautifully articulate, if your eye be single to a righteous purpose, your whole body can be filled with light. There's a quiet joy in this state, the profound satisfaction of progress, of seeing a plan take shape, piece by piece. It's not a frantic push, but a steady, grounded resolve. If one small approach doesn't work, you adapt. You try another. But you do not quit the journey. This is where faith and work stand together in perfect harmony. Your trust that your diligent efforts will be blessed, and so you persevere with what one spiritual leader aptly called cheerful consistency. This determination inspires. It has a ripple effect. Your focused calm can steady a scattered team, a worried family. It's the quiet, undeniable power of example. And what happens when this determination is cultivated, refined, and aligned with the highest good over a lifetime? Imagine that chord now, moving further along that spectrum of health, of quality, transforming into a radiant, unbreakable strand of pure light, shimmering with an inner strength. This is the highest expression. For Gate 9, this is called invincibility. Now, invincibility here doesn't mean being immune to hardship or never making a mistake. It speaks to an unshakable inner strength, a profound resilience born from a deep connection to the divine. It's the realization that no detail is too small for God's notice. And by aligning your will with the divine will in each small moment, you become an instrument that cannot ultimately be stopped by adversity. Richard Rudd describes this as a merging your awareness with the universe, becoming both defenseless and unstoppable. Defenseless in ego, yet unstoppable in spirit. It's the peace of knowing that steady righteousness applied with love ultimately yields God's protection and power. Think of the deep, quiet strength of Christ, who, in the face of unimaginable suffering, remained perfectly focused on his mission, ministering to one soul at a time, demonstrating that small steps taken with infinite love achieve an invincible triumph over every sin and death. That Gate 9 in its most divine expression, a steadfast, loving persistence that nothing can ultimately defeat. Well, I suppose it's charity never faileth embodied. So, how do we move along this quality spectrum? From those tangled threads of inertia to the strong light of determination, and perhaps even glimpse that radiant invincibility. It begins with one small step. The antidote to overwhelm is not to try to do everything, but to do something. One tiny focused action. It's a journey many of us know. So, how about a poem? The world spins fast, a blur of hue and haste. 1,000 voices call, no moments left to waste. My mind, a restless bird, flits anxious to and fro, lost in the clamor. Where can true purpose grow? But then a whisper soft from deep within my soul, turn from chaos, child, and seek a different goal. The grand design unfolds, not in frantic leap, but in quiet care, the promises you keep. One tiny thread of thought, I gently pull it near, one detail small and plain to banish doubt and fear. With patience, with patient, steady hand, I weave it into place and feel a current shift, a grounding, saving grace. The scattered shards of light begin to coalesce. A focused beam emerges, born of tenderness. The mountain, once so vast, now yields so to steady pace, and in the small I find my strength, my sacred space. The power of small and simple things is not just a psychological trick. It's a profound spiritual truth echoed across wisdom traditions and scriptures. Imagine a single smooth pebble dropped into a vast still pool of water. That small pebble creates ripples that expands out, and those ripples expand outwards, reaching every shore. So too do our small focused actions. In the spiritual tradition of the Book of Mormon, the prophet Alma taught his son, quote, "By small and simple things are great things brought to pass. And by very small means the Lord doth confound the wise, and bring about the salvation of many souls." Alma 37. Think about that. The Lord's work, and the grandest work of all, advances through small and simple things. Daily prayer, a verse of the scripture study with an open heart, a small act of kindness. These are the building blocks of a mighty faith, of a transformed life. Christ himself taught, "He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much." Luke 16. There's a divine pattern here. God doesn't usually ask us to move the entire mountain in one go. He asks us to pick up a simple stone, a single stone with faith, and then another and another. Consider the story of Nephi, also in the Book of Mormon, who was tasked with building a ship to cross the ocean, a seemingly impossible feat. He didn't know how, but he said, "I will go and do." And he was led, step by step, detail by detail. Similarly, the brother of Jared, needing light for the vessels, the ships, well, he took small stones to the mountain and, with determined faith and a simple act, saw them touched by the finger of God, becoming brilliant lights for their journeys. These aren't just ancient tales, they are also metaphors for our own lives. When we feel stuck in our inertia, when the task of personal change or contributing to a better world feels too big, the invitation is always the same. Focus. Focus on the next thing, however small. This is where the energy of Gate 9 becomes our sacred partner. It empowers us to break down our grand aspirations, our spiritual yearnings into manageable, prayerful even steps. And this isn't just about solo effort. Gate 9 often finds its greatest power in focused collaboration. It harmonizes beautifully with Gate 52. In Gate 52 of the human design system and in the Chinese I Ching, it's often known as the Gate of Stillness, which the Gate of Stillness provides the capacity to sit, to be present, allowing Gate 9's focus to deepen. It gives you stillness, calmness, to focus. Together they form a channel of profound concentration and determination. In our communities, in our families, when one person brings the focus and another brings the steady calm, remarkable things can be accomplished. It's part of what human design calls the logic circuit. Energies meant to be shared for the collective good, tested, refined, and offered to help us all understand and navigate life better. Your focused effort on a detail, whether it's perfecting the line of code, carefully preparing a meal for your family, or meticulously researching a solution to a community problem, it isn't just for you. It contributes to the pattern, to the whole. Picture a tiny seed being planted in fertile soil with sunlight and water, small consistent inputs. That seed sprouts. Now visualize that seed as a single healthy sapling, reaching towards a gentle light, shining the light shining down upon it. With continued nurturing, focused on its daily needs, it grows strong, eventually becoming a mighty tree that then offers shelter and fruit. So it is with our efforts. So, how do we cultivate the gift of determination in our daily lives? Embrace the small ask. When facing a large task, ask yourself, what is the smallest possible step I can take right now? Make it almost laughably easy. Want to write a book? Well, write one sentence, then another. Want to run a marathon? Well, put on your running shoes. That first small act breaks inertia's spell. You can also create rituals of focus. Our lives are often a whirlwind of distractions. Intentionally carve out small pockets of focused time. The Pomodoro technique is 25 minutes of focus, 5 minutes of rest. That would be gate 9's friendly rhythm. Turn off notifications. Let your environment support, not sabotage your concentration. And then perhaps consider tracking your progress with kindness. Gate 9's energy can sometimes enjoy the satisfaction of a checklist, but do it with self-compassion. If you miss a day on a new habit, don't let that be the excuse to abandon the entire journey. As one wise leader said, the Lord loves effort. Begin again with the next small opportunity. Consider also seeking the stillness. If you find your focus is energetic but scattered, intentionally seek moments of quiet, of stillness. Focus on that gate 52 energy, the still mountain focus. Like a mountain that is always there, still and strong. Take a few deep breaths, a short walk in nature, a moment of prayer. This can calm the system and allows focus to land. And then consider also celebrating the micro wins. Acknowledge your progress. When you complete a small part of a larger task, pause, breathe, offer a moment of gratitude. This refuels your determination for the next step. It's like that beautiful 6th line of Gate 9. That 6th line of Gate 9, which is often called gratitude. Well, that's the joy which comes with accepting small rewards for small victories. This isn't about becoming a productivity machine. Gate 9 isn't. It's about aligning with an energy that allows us to bring our unique gifts to the world with grace and effectiveness. It's about understanding that every small, focused act of love, of service, of creation, those matter profoundly. The poet Rumi once wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Each focused moment, each detail attended to with care, contains the essence of the whole. Each small act of faith contains the seed of invincibility. Remember that mosaic we imagined at the beginning? Picture it again, but this time see it fully illuminated, vibrant, complete, each tiny tile shimmering, contributing to its unique color and light to the glorious whole. That is the potential within each of us when we honor the power of the small, the ultimate expression of Gate 9. That state of invincibility is seen perfectly in the life of Christ. His unyielding determination to do the Father's will, his meticulous attention to the one, healing the individual, teaching the small group, offering parables about tiny seeds growing into trees. He showed us that true power, divine power, often works quietly, consistently, through seemingly small means, to bring about the most profound and eternal results. He is the archetype of every gate. Every gate. The archetype expressed in its highest, purest light. And his promise is that as we strive to be faithful in the small things, we too can be filled with his light and achieve our divine potential. So, I invite you, as you leave here tonight, to look at the mountains in your lives, your challenges, your dreams, your desires to make a difference, not with overwhelm, but with a newfound respect for the power of the small. Remember, that was the name that the I Ching gave this, the calming power of the small. What is the one detail you can attend to tomorrow? The one small step you can take with focused determination. That one act of quiet, consistent love you can offer. Because in that single focused moment, you are not just moving a pebble, you are aligning with your sacred energy. You are taming the vastness of potential into focused power of creation. You are laying the foundation for something truly great. And in that process, you might just find that most significant detail of all is the discovery of your own inherent strength, your own capacity for unwavering determination, and your own connection to the divine, which has been patiently waiting in the quiet power of the small all along. So, let's end with a poem. O patient soul, remember this truth. Great things are wrought by efforts small, uncouth. Each humble step in darkness or in light is observed by heaven and precious in his sight. When mountains loom and dreams feel far away, when the road is long and your hearts quake with dismay, be still, breathe, and look down at your feet. Focus on the next footstep, simple and concrete. For the Lord of all creation, grand and sublime, chose to heal and teach one soul at a time. He attended the little ones, the birds on the wing, and showed that small seeds of faith great harvests to bring. May you find strength in each quiet duty done, inviting invincibility one by one. May determination steady you through the night, until shadows of inertia are cast off by light. You are building a cathedral with each tiny stone. Line upon line, you are carving truth in bone. Heavenly hands magnify what you faithfully start. setting order to chaos, doing your part. So, do not be weary, your labor is known. The angels applaud every flower you've sown. In moments when progress appears meek or mild, know that God rejoices in the faith of his child. I bless you to feel the joy in journey small, to trust that by these means God brings about his all. May hope rise invincible, steady in your breast, as you focus on the small and let God handle the rest. Thank you and good night.